been less than a week since Los Angeles burned to the ground, and Governor Gavin Newsom is already announcing a new Marshall Plan to rebuild a new Los Angeles, saying we already have a team reimagining LA 2.0. Was this fire started on purpose, or was this just some strange coincidence? We're talking about this and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today is about Los Angeles, and don't forget, as we read along, to sip along with me in your official Gateway Pundit mug. It's embossed with our logo. It's high quality. It's got a weight to it. This isn't a cheap mug, and you can get yours by joining our mug club on our website, thegatewaypundit.com. Our top story from Jim Hoff. Well, Gavin Newsom unleashed this new Marshall Plan, as he's calling it, to rebuild a new Los Angeles. The timing is impeccable, saying that we already have an LA 2.0 in mind. Listen to this. In the wake of the devastating wildfires that have ravaged Los Angeles County, Governor Gavin Newsom has unveiled an ambitious initiative dubbed the Reimagining LA 2.0 to reconstruct the city. This plan, which he refers to as Reimagining LA, aims to rebuild the city with a focus of modernization and resilience, particularly in anticipation of the 2028 Olympics and the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Gavin Newsom decided to take his PR campaign to national television on Sunday, and the results were a major disaster with notable word salads, wild gestures, and more. They said that it's kind of a coincidence because they want to build a new stadium, and I guess they're going to build it in the Palisades. No, they didn't say that, but imagine, what if they build a stadium in the Pacific Palisades? That would be insane. Well, we got to rebuild. NBC News correspondent Jacob Soboroff traveled to Altadena, a census-designated place in the San Gabriel Valley in California, which has been tormented by the Eaton fire, to meet with the disgraced governor. Throughout the interview, Newsom appeared defensive as he often clapped and made several other glaring gestures that caught the attention of viewers as he attempted to spin his way out of his disastrous leadership. During one sequence, he showed that he had no clue why the reservoirs in the Pacific Palisades were left completely empty. And one of them, the Santa Ynez Reservoir, has a capacity of 117 million gallons and could have played a critical role in stopping the fires, as the Gateway Pundit reported. Newsom also criticizes Trump's approach to the situation, calling for him to visit California and see the devastation firsthand, saying that I don't think that misinformation and disinformation advantages or aids any of us. Responding to Donald Trump's insults, we would spend another month. I'm very familiar with them. Every elected official that he disagrees with is very familiar with them, Newsom said. He's done it in Utah. He's done it in Michigan. Did it in Puerto Rico. They love me in Puerto Rico, he says. And Newsom said that when asked about federal aid, that he did it to California back when I was governor in 2018. So essentially, he's been at this for years. The Democratic governor also outlines the plans for rebuilding and preparing for the future events, including 2026 FIFA and 2028 Olympics, which I'll probably attend, but we'll probably go to both, actually. I mean, why not, right? Some amazing stuff. Look, I got to ask you guys the question. Is this too much of a coincidence that this happened right as the city, burned down? I feel like there's got to be some sort of an accountability for these people, because when we're talking about, these interviews, we're talking about this stuff, I want you to pay attention to what he says here. I want you to listen to this. Watch.
Cup, and then the Super Bowl, and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
My humble position, and it's not just being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative moving quickly, doing it in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. President of the United States, Donald Trump, to his credit, was helpful in getting the Olympics to the United States of America, to get it down here in LA. We thank him for that. This is an opportunity for him to shine, for this country to shine, for California and this community to shine. The opportunity with all of that and all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those 3 iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team looking at reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
Tell us about this Marshall Plan. We're just starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to really develop a mindset so that at scale we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency, like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects, addressing building codes, addressing permitting issues, and moving forward to rebuilding and being more resilient.
And he does say that, look, the truth is thousands of people, I mean, maybe tens of thousands now, have lost their homes when you count the entire family size. And the destruction was actually, it is something unimaginable. I feel like people don't understand what it's like to lose your home, right? And the damage has already been done. But I was actually really worried because, a lot of people don't think about fire insurance and then their home burns down. But it turns out that there's actually some insane realities of people losing their homes in a different way. And I want to warn you, if you're a homeowner or know someone who is, do you know that the American homeowners nationwide have over $32 trillion in equity? And cyber criminals right now are targeting it with a growing scam that the FBI calls house stealing. Listen closely to this because it might happen to you and you don't want to get caught off guard. Now, house alarms, doorbell cameras, and deadbolts won't work against these thieves because they're not after your stuff. They're actually after your equity. They can steal it. And here's how. If your title isn't being monitored, scammers can transfer the title of your home into their name using a one-page document. That's it. They file it at the county. It's not even complicated. And then they take out loans against it or even sell it behind your back. Now, that's not even the scariest part. The worst part is you don't even find out until collection or even a foreclosure notice starts arriving in your mailbox. But by then the damage has been done and you're left with a financial and legal nightmare. The best way to protect your equity is with this triple lock protection from my friends at Home Title Lock. Now, triple lock protection is 24/7 monitoring, alerts of any changes, and God forbid if the worst happens, restoration services at no out-of-pocket cost to you. So when was the last time you checked your title? Now, if you're like me, the answer is never. And that's exactly what scammers are counting on. So if you want to protect your home title and have peace of mind on your family's biggest investment, go to HometitleLock.com/gatewaypundit. That's HometitleLock.com/GATEWAYPUNDIT. That's HometitleLock.com/gatewaypundit and use promo code Elijah, ELIJAH, for a free 30-day trial. Again, that's HometitleLock.com/gatewaypundit. Promo code Elijah for a free 30-day trial. Don't miss out. Check it out before it's too late. Now, that being said, it is devastating on what's happened to these people, and that's why Hollywood elitist Leonardo DiCaprio and girlfriend flee LA wildfires on a private jet, sparking backlash over the climate warrior hypocrisy, Jim Hoff reports. Well, it looks like that's his girlfriend. No, it's Greta Thunberg. That's everyone's girlfriend. We didn't ask for it, but it's unfortunately, she's all in our ears, yip-yapping and yelling at all of us. That's why she's our girlfriend. You know she is, because she's trying to control us and tell us what to do. No, I love you, baby. Anyway, as raging wildfires devastated Los Angeles and displaced over 100,000 residents, Hollywood's climate warriors seem more committed to personal luxury than practicing what they preach. Climate change alarmist Leonardo DiCaprio was spotted fleeing the chaos alongside his model girlfriend, Vittoria Ceretti. She's probably, Italian, maybe? On a private jet to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The Oscar-winning actor, known for lecturing the working class on global warming and as the founder of the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which has poured millions into climate change initiatives, has once again demonstrated what critics call the Hollywood elite eco-hypocrisy. The irony is hard to ignore, and for years, DiCaprio has been a vocal advocate for reducing carbon emissions, yet his personal actions seem to defy his public rhetoric. He is allowed to live in mansions, fly around the world in private jets, and party on super yachts. But the rubes, like you and me, have to make sacrifices in order to fight climate change. As they say, Leonardo and his model girlfriend were spotted arriving in Cabo in the jet, according to the Daily Mail. And they further reported that given Leo's reputation as an environmental advocate, it raised eyebrows that he would take a private jet during such a major natural disaster. Listen, wait, let's stop the show here for a second. And you're going to tell me, I'm just finding this out in my ear. I have a $20 million support staff that did research for the last two years. They've just come to the conclusion that they found out that Hollywood elites, get this, are dirty hypocrites. Yeah, exactly. Did you know that? I'm just finding this out right. Wow. You know, it's like that clip. I didn't know that. I'm just finding out about this right now. It's like the news. Also in news, my team also just found out that water is wet. I don't know if you also heard about that one too. So I love these articles where they're like, you know, by the way, did you know that they went to Cabo San Lucas and did something hypocritical? I'm just surprised there weren't kids on the plane that they were raping. Yeah. Having a freak off. Something like that. I don't have high expectations for Hollywood at all. So don't mind me if I don't care what they do with their time. That being said, more news about the California wildfires spark a shocking conspiracy claiming that fires were intentionally set to pave the way for AI-controlled SmartLA just in time for the 2028 Olympics. As I mentioned, the story continues. As devastating wildfires once again consume California's landscapes, a growing number of skeptics are pointing to an eerie coincidence. The fires are burning in regions earmarked for a major redevelopment under the controversial SmartLA 2028 initiative. Critics allege that these fires might not be mere acts of nature, but intentional acts to fast-track a dystopian agenda where artificial intelligence governs daily life. California is currently facing a catastrophic wildfire crisis, with Los Angeles County experiencing some of the most severe blazes in its history. The fires have consumed over 38,000 acres, destroyed thousands of structures, and resulted in at least 16 fatalities, with an additional 16 individuals reported missing. The Palisades fire stands as the largest, having burned 23,700 acres and over 5,000 structures, with containment efforts achieving only 11% success. The crisis has ignited a political firestorm when President-elect Donald Trump attributing the disaster to mismanagement by California's leadership. Trump criticized Governor Gavin Newsom for failures in water resource management and forest maintenance, suggesting that state regulations have exacerbated the fires. Now, it has also been reported that the Santa Ynez Reservoir, a critical water source in the Pacific Palisades, was empty and offline when a devastating wildfire ripped through the area. Again, my research team just got in my ear, and they did tell me it is unfortunate that they didn't have water to fight the fire, but there was some good news. The fire department were lesbians, so that's really good news. They were doing what lesbians do. You know, let's say they were working with crafts, cutting things with scissors, and I'm not talking about the crafts. What they weren't doing is successfully putting out a fire. So next time you see a disabled black woman who likes the V instead of the P, at least you know your house burned down, giving somebody a job that probably didn't deserve it. And, you know, I'm in California, and Dave Rubin, who everybody knows is a fantastic, commentator, he said specifically that living in Florida, it's like we pay less taxes and we have way better public services in California. And I've lived in both. It's true. It's a critically true statement. Very often, Dave Rubin is seen to be, you know, championing the truth there. So, you know, good on him. That being said, the Los Angeles Times reported that despite the reservoir's critical role in the city's water infrastructure, it had been offline for nearly a year. Now claims have surfaced on social media alleging that the devastating California wildfires were intentionally started as a part of a criminal land grab to construct smart cities under the United Nations 2030 agenda. Now, being from Los Angeles, I gotta say, it never looks like that. It usually, it looks like that, but then put like a brown layer in front of it, and then you never get a straight shot. Not just because barely anyone in the city is straight, but, you know, and you might get shot, but also because there's homeless people trying to swing at you. So you got to kind of dodge them and, you know, take the pictures. It's very hard, which is actually why people always say, you know, it's not that Bigfoot is blurry. They're just finding him in Los Angeles, so never getting a clear shot. And on top of that, why don't we just burn down East LA? This is going to be very disrespectful, everyone. I would be okay if an arsonist burned down East LA. And I'm joking, but that place is a hole. You know what I mean? Pretty disgusting. Unintentionally, I might, if you find that East LA burns down and you don't know where I am, you know what happened. People in LA understand that place is literally godforsaken and should probably not exist, but we pray for the people. Now, unfortunately for all of us, I want to remind you guys that this past year has been one of the hardest for MyPillow's history. You know MyPillow, the best pillows in America, the American-made ones from Mike Lindell, the guy who literally got Trump's back when everyone abandoned him. Well, it's because of you that MyPillow is making it through. Now, Mike Lindell, an amazing businessman Christian who changed his life, and his employees want to thank you for your continued support by extending their wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get a standard classic MyPillow, only $14.98. Can you believe it? Now, I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's only $14.98. $15? That's almost the price of Starbucks now. I just got a Starbucks. It was $7.56 for a latte. Jeez, that's the most I've ever paid for junk. But, it gets even better. $15? That's like the price of 2 lattes, and you get a pillow that will last you. I've never even heard of anyone's My Pillows not lasting them for life, but I can't make that guarantee. But anyway, you can also get the queen size, $18.98, and you can get the king size for only $1 more, plus the body pillows for $29.98. When you don't have a private jet and an Italian 19-year-old supermodel to hug one of your My Pillows. It was a Leonardo DiCaprio reference for anyone missing it. Go to mypillow.com, mypillow.com. Use promo code Elijah, ELIJAH, or call 1-800-210-8491 and use promo code Elijah to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard MyPillow, originally $50, only $14.98. Check it out today, mypillow.com, promo code ELIJAH, or for your traditional folk, you can call 1-800-210-8491. Links on the screen and in the description. Unfortunately, what's the next MAGA hat? Really? Is this what we're talking about? Yes, it is. Women's sportswear company goes viral after responding to transphobic accusations. I don't think I want to be your friend unless you're transphobic. Honestly. What does transphobia even mean? Is it transphobic to insist that there are immutable differences between men and women? Is it transphobic to suggest that those immutable differences can lead to dangerous situations when men and women compete in sports? Or is it transphobic to simply be a follower of Christ who knows that God does not make mistakes? Now, if you're a flaming leftist, great use of words, I love this writer, you probably nodded along in agreement to each of those questions. If you're a normal, everyday person that's sexy and hot and amazing and talented, like you, who's watching this, or Jennifer Say, the founder of women's sportswear company XXXY Athletics, you're probably also nodding doing this, but not in agreement. You're nodding along because you just don't care about what the left slings at you anymore. Say hammered that point while speaking to Fox News after she was derided as transphobic by a surprise, left-leaning publication. The San Francisco Chronicle gave culture critic Soleil Ho an open forum, and columnists responded with this drivel masquerading as a headline. Now listen to this. We have a video here. I'll play it for you in a second. But I do think it's crazy when you talk about the story that, basically we need to fight against these people, and there's really nothing that we can do besides fight, and do what we know we need to do.
On a basic level, all women have XX chromosomes. That's just a fact. I think it's incredibly disorienting. It's not grounded in truth. It suggests that truth is malleable and fungible, and that sex is fungible, and it's not. So I will fight for the truth every single day, and I don't care if that writer calls me transphobic. That means nothing to me. My name is Jennifer Say. I'm a former elite gymnast. I was the 1986 national champion, longtime fashion executive, and the founder of XXXY Athletics, the only brand standing up for the protection of women's sports and spaces. I was inspired to start XXXY Athletics because I looked around at all of the athletic brands out there claiming to champion female athletes and ignoring this issue that is right in front of us, which is more and more males entering women's sports. Not only ignoring it, but I would argue in many instances, standing on the wrong side of the issue. I was a longtime San Francisco resident. I lived there for over 30 years, and I have been very critical of San Francisco's policies starting in 2020 because of COVID. So the San Francisco Chronicle likes to troll me a bit. They don't like that I'm so critical of the city and their institutions and their governance. That said, I'll take it. If XXXY Athletics is the new hotness, that sounds like it's pretty on trend to me. The article overall is, I don't have another word for it other than stupid and filled with lies. The writer makes the assertion that vast numbers of studies show that sex is a spectrum. That's just false. There are no studies. She cites no studies. She links to no studies. There is no evidence that sex is a spectrum. Sex is binary. I don't know how a newspaper can not even fact check. I know it's an op-ed, but basic facts should not be violated, I think, in an actual newspaper. So anyway, I found the article kind of hilarious, but I'll take the headline because if XXXY is trending, that's good for business. And the fact is it's good for truth. It's an ideological perspective. It's activism. It's not biological reality. when she says these things is that a person is what they say they are. And that's just not true. There is such a thing as biological reality, but they want to live in this fantasy land where whatever you just declare yourself to be, you are. And that's just not fact-based or reality-based. The columnist is asserting that our shirts, XXXY athletics logo tees, which have been our best seller since we launched about 9 months ago, is the new MAGA hat. Well, MAGA hats are pretty popular. I think, people wear them to make a statement about their values and where they stand on the political issues of the day. I believe XXXY athletics is an assertion of just basic truth, biological truth. And I think it's becoming the uniform of common sense, and more people don't care that they're called transphobes for wearing the shirt or bigots for wearing the shirt, because they know that name calling is the purview of those with no argument. That is meant to silence people. But we don't care anymore because we're not bigots and we're not phobic of anything. We just believe in biological reality. 20 years after I left the sport, I was the first former elite gymnast to speak out on the abuses in the sport, the emotional, physical, and sexual abuse in the sport. So I care deeply about protecting female athletes, and I think this is an important issue within that same category. Female athletes deserve to train safely. They deserve privacy. They deserve fairness. And I can't believe that anyone who calls themselves a feminist or a defender of women's rights would not see the issue here. It's not grounded in biological reality, and I won't further a lie.
Incredible stuff from Fox News, as to be expected. We can pull that off the screen because it will autoplay there. That being said, our last story today is absolutely important. New video shows January 6th Trump supporter Rosanne Boyland shot in the face by police projectile, then pushed down and smothered before Metro police officer beat her with a stick as she died on the U.S. Capitol steps. This is so deep and so shocking. You're going to want to go ahead and watch us on our website, thegatewaypundit.com, because it's probably a little too risque to be showing you even here on YouTube and Rumble. So we're going to go ahead and leave that for the website. But I encourage you, the links should be in the description. You can click on the article and head to the website there. And you can also become a mug club, as what they did on January 6th was criminal. And who's they? The police and the government. They set us up, they entrapped us. And I say us because I was there, right? And then they tried to accuse me of criminal wrongdoing. When in reality, I was just doing my job. I was just there to document the corruption of the United States government, which I didn't know I was going there to do. I thought I was going there to document a protest, and it turned into a riot. And I have reason to believe that the police instigated the riot, and they wanted it to happen. So I saw Ray Epps. I'm the one who filmed that. Remember that. I filmed that. I filmed Ray Epps starting the violence. And I'm down in the impeachment trial. They have me down as whatever, the witness that witnesses Ray Epps as who started the riot. So it's weird. It's like my name's in congressional history for being the guy who proved that, a Trump supporter started the riot. But why is he not in jail? Maybe he's circumcised. Anyway, I'm Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week as always. I'll see you next time. And may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.